Hey guys, I tried to record a video about my healing journey and everything I'm doing yesterday. It didn't feel good, and I was like, oh, maybe I'll wait and put it on. And last night someone with Lyme reached out to discuss with me some information about a treatment that I'd had, and if it was happening, what is happening to them was happening to me when I had it. So we had a conversation, and that conversation led to several topics. And I said, you know what, I need to get this video online for those who are following, who have Lyme or have loved ones with Lyme, and everything I've done to recover from that. Now, many people have commented saying, I look well, you look healthy, you look vibrant, and I am healthier, stronger than I've been in years at the moment. I'm full of energy, I'm vibrant. I am not 100%. I'm not able to go out running or hit the gym or anything yet. My body is still recovering from that, but it's had a big hit. You know, if you have the flu for 2 weeks, you're still feeling unwell, groggy for a week after. I've been ill for years now. My body's restoring, rebalancing, and they say you can't fully heal, only get remission from this infection and all of the knock-on problems it creates. But whatever it is I have, I'm grateful for it, and I'm going to keep on with this journey of healing that I'm on. I have done a few different things to get to this point, and I want to list them all. This video won't have as much detail on every topic as I want, but if you watch in the coming weeks, I'll keep adding videos on the topics I speak about. One in particular, which is going to get a lot of interest from many people, I'm sure, is my diet. I'm going to get onto that. So before I get onto this, first up, I did these amazing apheresis treatments where they filtered my blood, and when they filtered my blood, they tested me what they filtered out, and I was filled with poisonous metals, cobalt, arsenic, copper, and this really got me over a hurdle. Now, it wasn't enough to get me fully better, but it got me over a hurdle, and I was super grateful for that, and you guys are the ones who gave me that. I know people with the same problems I have, and they're still in bed. I know how hard this journey is, but try and do what I did if you can't access that outside of that, because I was still ill after that. I was still ill and still showing a very high parasitic load, and had a lot of circulating immune complexes, etc. when I did these treatments. So it didn't get me fully better, but it got my personal health journey, where I had this arsenic and cobalt in my blood, 20 times the toxic level of cobalt in my blood, had to be taken out. I'd already done a 33-day water fast and chelation protocols, and it was still in there, even though I'd done that. So this helped me a lot. When I had that treatment, there were times afterwards where I felt mental clarity like a toddler, because your blood's totally clean, but it's only a short window, and then your body dumps all the toxins back inside you again, into your bloodstream, and that really is the hardest part about the treatment, not being on the machine for 4 hours, but when your body gets the toxins back into your blood, it's really horrendous. So the next thing I did was antibiotics with the PIC line. I heard a great analogy. If you have a cupboard full of rats and you want to kill them, and you open the door and you go in with a high-powered rifle and start blasting, you better believe you're going to hit some, but you're also going to blow holes in your cupboard, and you're not going to hit all of them. This is exactly what antibiotics is like with Lyme. It works, it helped me, but it really wrecked my body. I got so sick from it. So for me, some people do recover on antibiotics. I had great mental clarity from them, but I prefer the herbs. And I'm on a very strong herbal protocol, and you can run it alongside antibiotics. So that's my experience on antibiotics. I did get an infected PIC line with E. coli, which nearly killed me. So I'm kind of not the best one to ask about antibiotics. The herbs I'm on, Stevard, Harrod, Buna. Amazing protocol built around Antigraphis, cat's claw, and resveratrol. I use Green Dragon botanicals. They mix it all into one pill, and I take like 9 to 12 pills of these a day, and I will keep taking them for years to come. They regulate your immune system. I have a sweet in my mouth, sorry. They regulate your immune system. They stop cytokines, they stop mast cell activation, and they're also antiparasitic and antibacterial. So they are killing the bacteria slowly whereas antibiotics kill it fast and they hide. So I find it a much better option. It's made me feel loads better, less inflammation. Alongside that, I take a lot of turmeric with black pepper. I have started using cordyceps, and I use CBD quite liberally. I use CBD flowers either for smoking or drinking, and I use CBD oil from Nordic oils with turmeric in it, and that stuff really helps me a lot as well, and I'll be on that for the remaining future as well because it's been such a benefit to me. Those are the practical applications I did. One of the more practical there's the practical applications I did. Now the other things I did this year, I did another long water fast. Fasting has always been part of this journey for me. There are many people who are against fasting, but that's because they haven't fasted. The health benefits are phenomenal. It's why you lose your appetite when you're sick. So I still say that as someone who just had a bad fasting experience this year. I fasted for 3 weeks, and during refeeding I was so malnourished going in, hadn't realised how malnourished I was on a mineral level, that during refeeding I went into metabolic shifts, which are known as refeeding syndrome, and my phosphate started first. As insulin comes, you take phosphate from the cells, and I was getting heart pain, and it was very frightening. And all week I had my electrolytes tested. Doctors didn't know anything out there about refeeding syndrome. Even the European doctors don't understand it out there. Thankfully, a doctor who we know in Germany has treated, has seen people die from it who were refeeding after anorexia nervosa and stuff like this, and he had all the knowledge I needed, and I recovered very well from that in time. But it was a difficult process to do because my electrolytes were moving left and right constantly. So that was my fast. During that fast I retrained my brain to speak health and not sickness. This deserves its own video and we'll get one. Speaking health is important. When you wake up, your body's in pain, your belief goes to the pain, it goes to the sickness. You need to get a higher narrative, a louder narrative that commands healing, and the belief gets to that point, and that's what I did during that fast. Upon breaking the fast, this will gain a lot of attention. I'm going to do a separate video on this. I changed my diet and I started incorporating animal products, and with great results. So I still do minimal harm to the planet and environment, but I also had autoimmune problems, meaning all my calorie sources were not working. I wasn't absorbing, I was malnourished, it was very hard for me. And this topic's very difficult because a lot of my friends who I love are vegan, and if you're thriving, I'm so happy that you are. And I stood as authority once. I was very rude to people, saying this is the way for everybody, and my life taught me otherwise, and this was a very difficult journey for me to release that. It took a long time. For all intuitively I kind of could see I wasn't getting through fiber to get what I needed. I needed bioavailable nutrients from eggs and goat dairy and things like this in Tanzania, wild caught fish, and I can digest that easier, and I have no immune response to it. So it was very hard. I tried everything as a vegan to recover as plant-based, and it didn't work. And thus I incorporated now some animal products into my diet, and I look better for it and I feel better for it, and I will continue doing minimal harm to the environment and the planet. My battery's going to die. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe, as it really helps us to grow the channel and with it help more children here in Tanzania. Also, don't forget you can support our work by sharing with children in crisis here, be it sharing for a particular need or even sharing one-on-one support for education, housing, food and medical care. It can be done for as little as the cost of a cup of coffee a week back in the West after all. Just visit www.sharetanzania.co.uk to find out more. Lastly, remember you can also support us via Patreon, www.patreon.com/featherstail, and help keep us here in Tanzania to continue our work. The links for the website and for the Patreon are in the description box of this video. Love and light, guys. See you soon.